Good morning, world. I am Judy, your web based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I want to talk about 5 things that you should do after you learn your partner's love language. In a previous video, I talked about how or ways that you can help figure out what your partner's love language is. It's one of those things that I like to do whenever I work with couples. I like to make sure that they know each other's love language or that they know that the other person even has a love language. But it helps with communication. It helps with expressing that love. It gives them a way to show and express love to their partner in a way that their partner is going to receive exactly what they are intending to share. Because a lot of times you have people that come in and say, hey, I don't get this, that, and the other. And you have the other person saying, hey, I'm doing ABCD all day. And it's just that their love languages are not matching and they're not clicking. But, anyways, today we're talking about what you need to do with that information after you learn it. But before we jump in, I want to take a quick moment and say, if you are already subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of this group, that we don't have a name yet, but we're going to get one. If you are not yet subscribed, please take a quick moment and click the subscribe button below to make sure that you are subscribed. And of course, make sure that you click the notification bell so you can know every time whenever I post something new. And of course, if you would like to buy one of my books, there's a link below that will take you to the website that has all the links to all the different places that you can purchase the book. And if you do purchase one, I will absolutely love that. Okay, so let's get back to work. First thing, practice. Start to experiment with it. Once you learn your partner's language, practice, practice, practice. That's the thing. That's what you do with any language that you learn. You practice to become better at it. You practice to become more comfortable with it. You practice to learn the differences and the different things that happens with the language. The more you practice, the better you get at it. The more you practice, the more comfortable you get at it. The more you practice, the more naturally it comes to you. Well, just as you do that for all other languages, it's important to do that with your partner's love language. Start to practice it. Experiment with it. Maybe you know that your partner's love language is words of affirmation, but which kind of words, in what context, how do you deliver it? This is what practice will do for you. Practice will tell you, hey, these are the ones that work, and these are the ones that really work. So it's important that you continue to practice because, one, as you're practicing, you are sharing and expressing love to your partner in a way that they understand, and that's getting you bonus points because, hey, you're doing awesome. But you're also getting better. You're learning the ones that are even the best ones to use, the ones to use in this situation, the ones to use in that situation. Just take the time, experiment with it. Experiment with what you've learned. If your partner's love language is physical touch, in what way is there a spot that hits better than the other? Just take your time. This is your partner. This is your relationship. If you're in it for the long haul, you got time. So take your time and start practicing. And of course, the more you practice, the better you get at it. And as you practice, your partner's going to be happier because you're giving them what they want. To receive their actions from their love language. Yes, the ideal situation is you're going to learn your partner's love language and they will learn yours. You speak theirs to them, they will speak yours to you. However, anytime you're in that bilingual situation where you're using a different language, sometimes we more naturally fall to the language that is our own. We more naturally fall to the language that we're most comfortable in. So even though your partner takes the time to learn your love language, and that very often that they will express love to you in their love language, in your love language. Sometimes they may do things in their love language because they didn't really think it through. They didn't take the time and realize, hey, my partner speaks words of affirmation, or my partner speaks physical touch. So if I want to express love to them, I should. Sometimes they didn't get to that part and they just wanted, hey, I just want to show love. So receive their actions from that viewpoint. If something happens that is not, or if something is done or expressed that is not necessarily in your love language, just consider that they may be sharing or expressing love in their language. And of course, you can take it as that and appreciate as that and know that, yeah, maybe today they spoke their language to you. Tomorrow, hopefully, they will be speaking yours. 3. Use their love language in communication. It helps you explain things better. Sometimes when you're speaking to the person in ways or using terms or using gestures that they understand, it helps the conversation land better. It helps you get clearer. It helps you get to your point. Especially if you have to use examples that fit within the realm of their love language. If you're having a conversation with someone whose love language is physical touch, maybe a quick touch of the hand might help gain make that connection and get things going the way you need them to go. So pay attention and make sure that you are using their love language in your conversation, in your communication with them, not just when it's time to communicate love, but hey, in everyday actions that you are expressing, that you are engaging that information that you have taken so much time to learn and figure out, so that, hey, everything you do, everything you say, every interaction with your spouse come from that place, or that they will see it from that place of love, from that place of you being that loving husband, loving wife, loving boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is that you happen to be. 4. Teach it to your children or teach it to other interested parties, because it's not just you who has an interest or who has a desire to show love to your partner. There are other parties who may be interested. Let me first say, it doesn't matter how children don't necessarily need to learn their parents' love language, because it doesn't matter what a child does or how a child expresses love. A parent will always appreciate, will always see, and children have their own way of, hey, I dig you. Hey, I don't like you. They have their own way of expressing themselves. But if you can teach your children to speak your partner's love language, it goes an extra step. Yes, they're always going to appreciate love shown or love coming from their child. But when that love comes in their language, it might have a little extra bonus in it. They may see it or feel it or receive it more quickly or perceive it more quickly, or it might give it a little extra boost that it came with their love language. So make sure that you're teaching it to your children and, of course, your family, friends, because a lot of times our friends and families, they want to build and have that good relationship with our partners. So making sure that your partners, your family or other interested party know that, hey, this is my wife's love language, this is my husband's love language, my boyfriend, whatever, especially as in the beginning, as they're getting to know that person and wanting to develop that relationship. And of course, it helps you a lot better, because if all the important people in your life know and like and get along and have a loving relationship, it definitely makes your life a whole lot easier. 5. Remember their love language in your actions. That's the most important reason to know the person's love language, is so that you can use it and express love in their language. Remember to do that whenever your intention is to express love. Remember to use their love language in that action. Remember to always employ their love language when your intention is to express or to show love to that person. But also remember their love language just in everyday actions, because there are things that may hit a little more sensitively to a person based on their love language than it would another one. For instance, a person whose love language may be words of affirmation, there are some words that may hit a little bit more than others. So you may want to pay attention to that as you're engaging in communication. So it may be that, hey, sometimes this person may take this easily as a joke, but for a person whose love language is words of affirmation, it may not be as much of a joke to that person. For a person maybe whose love language is gifts, maybe a gag gift might not be as received as jovially as a person whose love language is not gifts. So just make sure that you're paying attention to your partner's love language in both your intentions to express love as well as your everyday actions when you're just going on about your business and just being your everyday you. Okay, so let's do the quick recap. 1, practice. Start to experiment with it. See what works even better. 2, receive their actions from a place of their love language, because sometimes they may forget to speak your love language, but they will definitely speak theirs. So as you're looking at actions, if it didn't come from your love language, just think of, hey, could it be because it's coming from their language? 3, use their love language in communication. It helps you explain things. If you need to give examples, using things that come from their love language can help you get there faster. 4, teach children and other interested parties how to speak your partner's love language, because other people have an interest in showing love to your partner, and it helps if they know how to do it. And finally, remember their love language and your actions, both as you're engaging in actions to express or share love with your partner, as well as in everyday actions where certain things may hit a little more sensitively to some people than others based on their love language. As always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that's more than you can handle, please remember that there are professionals like myself who are available, able, and willing to help, and are even providing remote services if you need it. So please figure out who those people are in your community so that if you need the help, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.